Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Way Up Trading. Now today we're going to go over a couple different things of what I'm seeing with GME, can't stop, won't stop, GameStop, and right now it is in a seriously bullish situation. I see a lot of upside happening here with this particular stock, and we're going to go over it piece by piece to see what we're seeing, and also go over what I think is going to be happening over the next couple of days heading into earnings on June 7th, and I'm going to do all of that right after this. Shit. All right, I got GME pulled up here on the 1-day time frame just to go a little recap of exactly what's going on with this particular chart. And taking a look here, you can see that we had a nice finish today, roughly about 1.56% on the day, going into tomorrow's earnings situation right after the bell. And you can see here, first and foremost, we have obviously this run up that took place back on January 2021. We have been in this particular situation here of a downtrend slash reaccumulation that's been happening throughout the last few years, and can very clearly see that the double bottom is actually GME's best friend. And every time you get this double bottom set up, you get a run up and squeeze type scenario every time. Most recently, you can see that we have now recently broken this downtrend and have retested it after we filled this gap after the last earnings report that sent us up about 50% on the last run up. We went ahead, ran through it, hit some major levels of resistance that are formed back from November of 2022. Came back down with roughly about $27, came back down, filled the gap, which is a retest of the downtrend that we've had, and have been on a rocket mission ever since, roughly about a 30% move upwards ever since the lows of the retest of the wedge as well as the gap fill. All right, I have a couple of my indicators pulled up on the 3-day time frame, which is basically where we have been bumping our heads here. We'll take a closer look, but I still have my targets set up here. 2757 is the most recent target I have here on a 3-day chart, and you can see this is the 200 moving average, this red line here. You can see kind of coincides just about there. You can see we actually were able to hit 2757 just after the last earnings report a few months back, and now are recently retesting it just actually today, retesting this 3-day 200 moving average before we can start to play the upside, which is the next level I have. Our next level of resistance after breaking this area will put us right around the $32.30 mark, just around there, roughly about $33 that we could potentially see if we can go ahead and break this area. It all comes down to what happens tomorrow with the earnings report. If GME is showing again the turn of profit while being cash flow positive and also in no debt, this thing is going to skyrocket, and we can see some really big numbers. I'm talking squeeze numbers, possibly even hitting this target to somewhere around $46 if it is a positive earnings report, or as big of a positive surprise earnings report as what we've seen in the last couple of days. Hoping for the best here, but I'm playing calls right now on the low side, not looking to go too high, and I'm not looking to hold them into earnings. Very small piece. Tonight, I actually just before close, I was actually able to pick up a few at a reasonable price. Roughly right now, I'm looking at about $27 calls for tomorrow, and just going to hold on to those just before closing tomorrow, not holding too many of them going into the actual closing period or into the earnings call, just because of how the expected move can sometimes be a little bit outlandish, and a lot of these meme stocks can particularly be a lot worse in other words, just because of the fact that they're considered to be a threat to the overall health of the stock market, so to speak. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it at that. We're gonna take a closer look and see what we had today with the price action that took place. All right, so I got the 30-minute chart pulled up right now, and I have it set up here for a bearish deep crab, showing us that our optimal price is going to be somewhere around $26.09. This is on the 30-minute chart here for GME, regular trading hours only. You can see that we had a nice reaction after we hit $25, just about $25.38. It was sent back down pretty hard. Was able to rebound just before hitting this last level of support that I had marked here, which is the $24.22, and now basically kind of forming a setup here, which is a bit of a descending broadening wedge. And you can see typically with a descending broadening wedge, you get a bit of a bounce off of you get a bearish rejection with a little bit of a bounce off of two different levels of support and resistance, and a downward yet a enlarging type of a downward cone shape. Right now we're playing the midline, and we were able to get the bounce here off of the midline, looking to make this break above this yellow. It also coincides here with our 15-minute bearish crab setup, roughly around the $24.89. I do expect a little bit. We'll see how things go tomorrow, but I do expect a little bit of a bounce after going back and retesting our target 2 of that particular pattern at $24.47. We should get a bounce, and then from there start to make our way back up towards most likely trying to hit this level once again, which is our optimal price, which is at $25.87, and going into the earnings tomorrow afternoon. So I'm looking again for a bounce off of $24.47 on the way down, because we're not able to break the 50 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. So I expect a little bit of rejection, and then we run back up, breaking this downtrend, and start to make our way climbing these levels of support. A couple levels I have here: 24.89 at target 1. We have 25.01, 25.25, 25.43, which is our XA, and then we'll max out hopefully somewhere here and avoid a double top, but we could probably most likely trade sideways going into closing before we start to see our $26.74 mark. Volume right now is looking pretty good. You can see it's on the downtrends. We are having decrease in volume well underneath the signal line here. I'm going to move it a little closer. So volume is actually well under the signal line on the downtrends, and you can see increasing as we go upward in price. As you can see here, upwards, volumes climbing before the dumps, and so on. Volume climbs, dumps down, and you can see there is a little bit less and less selling pressure up until the end of today. We obviously had a huge sell-off for whatever profit takers or whatever was happening toward the end of the day. But I do see again continuation tomorrow using the 30-minute time frame. We can see continuation going into tomorrow once we break this pattern. Looking to play the upside somewhere towards around $26.74. Again, I picked up calls for $27 looking for the end of the week. Be very, very careful with those. Holding them into earnings wouldn't advise exactly, but do keep a couple runners, because tomorrow I do expect to be a nice push day going into earning. Some opportunities there to make some good profit if you haven't already made great profit going into this week with this particular stock, but there's still more opportunity on the table, so take advantage of it. We'll watch the charts together, make sure we grow this portfolio, make the outcome income for 2023, and see you guys on the next video. If the button's still red, go ahead and click subscribe. Join us. We're going to be here every single day on the way up, making the outcome income for 2023. Gonna go over some of our favorite stocks, looking at what's going on with the future, what we could see going forward with SPY, the QQQs, and all the other good stocks in between. Like, comment, subscribe, hit me up with any questions you got, and we're gonna see you next time. Peace.